So, you want to go back to the old days, huh? Listening to cassette tapes, CDs, VHSs, DVDs, all that jazz. You miss when times didn't have to call for two ads in one video, interrupting you in your intimacy with the artists or whatever else you were listening to. So, what we're going to do, we're going to go back in time for a little bit. We're going to go back to the early 2000s, the 90s, and late 90s. So let's start first with the cassette tapes. So back in the days, before you had it all on your phone and everything like that, you would get something like this. So the beauty about this is once you got the tape, put it into the thing, let it rock and whatnot. Now the thing is, if you wanted to rewind a favorite part, you couldn't do it too much because this little thing right here, the tape, would get all warped and sound like screw music. So you didn't want to do that. The great thing about this thing as well is you get to read what who produced it, who wrote the lyrics, who engineered it, mixed it, and you really got to know the artist, all that and above. And if you didn't know the song lyrics, they would actually have them right in here, one of those places. So it was kind of like an exploration with this, you know what I mean? So that was what's great about cassette tapes. Another great thing about it is you will also get rare remixes, rare mixes, or unreleased things that you couldn't get on CDs sometimes because of the time constraint. So you would always have to go copy one of these, and it would give you the original mix, and it would also give you a mix that you can't get outside of this. So these were kind of hard to really grab a lot because the sentimental, whatever you want to call that, it's real special and rare. Now, from beyond that, now we're on to the newer thing after cassette tapes, which were CDs, because they were cheaper to make and they were just the new thing in style. And personally, I feel like these are the best things to go to a lot of times because cassette tapes, they can get damaged pretty easily due to the whole tape thing. So yeah, the CDs are the best way to go. So when you went to the CDs, you would go to these things. Okay. Now the beauty about these things as well is now it's a bigger display and the sound's a lot more crispier. So it's not of a grungy 12-bit kind of thing. It's like, if I can compare it, it would be like a MPC 60 comparing to a SP 1200. And again, you get the same things you would get from the cassette tapes, the CDs as well. Now this is a double album, so you get two CDs, hence why it looks so big. Pause. And then you would get even more things to read. So you got this right here. So you would get all the lyrics in this, some artwork and whatnot, and all that jazz. And you would get this thing right here also. And this is where the artwork shows, and you get to get more in depth with the artists, who the band members were, and whatnot, case may be. So we had all of that. Now the thing with CDs though, because they're cheaper to make, they get a lot more scratches. So the issue was if you would scratch this right here, people always think that if you scratch this, that it's going to ruin the CD. But that's not the case. All that data, all that memory, all those things that you record onto get put on like jelly on this. And the more you touch this, the more you add more damage to this, the more the CD becomes non-playable. So you want to watch when you do that. So it's easier to ruin. So that's that. Now, we all got streaming things to watch stuff on. Amazon, HBO Max, Hulu, Tubi TV, which I don't really understand why they still have that up there. Because I heard some stuff like Trey Songz singing about serving packs and things, and quick to stab your brother in the back for change. And as a youngin', he was taught the game when he watched his daddy go and cut that cane. A lot of drug stuff. Not a hood guy, so I wouldn't know. But it was disgusting. It was so disgusting, it had me looking at myself like, yeah, I can't explain this. And if I wanted to explain this, it would look kind of stupid. So, we're on to the DVDs. I don't have any VHSs right now. I'm in the process of getting those at the moment. But DVDs were great because you were also able to get, extra content, behind the scenes, bloopers, music videos sometimes on that. And it just felt great when you hold it in your hand. You bought this product with your own money you saved up from your crappy job or the money your parents gave you. And it was something you can say, yeah, I did that. Now I got it in my hands. So, before streaming, this is what you would buy it on. DVDs, baby. All that and above, case may be. And, oops. It's old. So, you would get all these things, and sometimes if it was like a real special movie, they would have like a, matter of fact, you would get things like this. So, they really wanted to appreciate the fans, so they would like either send out some magazines, or you would get like some free movies if you would sign up for this kind of whatever it is it's called, and you would do stuff like this and fill it out. Back in the days, the internet wasn't as prevalent, so you would have no choice but to just wait. And yeah, that's what it was. DVDs, VHSs. Now the VHSs, they were they were kind of superior because before the movie would start, you would be able to watch previews and stuff like that. They would draw it out a little bit longer. There wasn't a lot of constraint when it came to VHSs. And matter of fact, there was a film back in the days called Soul Food. And in the beginning and then at the end, they would show you full 3-minute, 4-minute, 5-minute music videos. Where on the DVDs, you couldn't put that much in there because it ran out of time. But they were easier to make as CDs, so that's why they were the most, that's why everyone with DVDs and single CDs. So, do you got what it takes to go back in time to do all these 3 items with no skipping, no rewinding, no fast forwarding? You just have to sit there and watch it, listen to it. And if you don't like it, oh yeah, and by the way, if you had bought a whole album for a single, 9 times out of 10, you didn't get that single on there and you had to buy the single separately. For examples like one of my favorite albums, Hootie and the Blowfish, Cracked Rearview Mirror. Now this is the CD maxi single. So certain singles had like certain tones to it, whatnot, that they couldn't fit all on the album or the cassette tape. So you would buy that separately. The albums would normally be like $9.99 or sometimes $19.99, depending who it was. And then the singles would be $17.99 or $12.99, depending again. So that was a big struggle. So if you bought an album and you didn't like it, then it was, gotta eat that. DVDs, they get scratched pretty easily. VHSs, the tape, all that shit is pretty hard to keep up and maintain. So if you could deal with all those issues and deal with all those factors in place, I'd say you got a solid future in doing this thing. Other than that,